The Reserve Bank has cut the repo rate by a full percentage point to 5.25%. That's in line with the global trend by central banks to try to offset the impact of the coronavirus pandemic on businesses and consumers. Let's find out what it means for you. Nelson Nair is the portfolio manager at Sasfed. He joins us now via Skype. So Nelson, this of course means good news for those paying bond and car repayments.
Absolutely. I think welcome news for a lot of consumers. It's been a really tough environment for them the last few years. And I mean, a 1% cut, this is the biggest cut I've seen in quite a long time. I can't remember, when last we had such a big cut. But obviously in the circumstances, I think very necessary. And I'm very pleased that the Reserve Bank has done this. It's a show of real confidence. And hopefully that will permeate throughout the economy for the rest of the year.
So what's the long-term impact on our economy, though?
Hopefully, it might imply, higher inflation in the long term. But I think the Reserve Bank went through a lot of pains to explain that given where we've seen commodity prices, and not just the oil price, he also spoke about the copper price, he spoke about food prices as well. He indicated that those are on a downward trajectory. And notwithstanding the weaker rand, the net effect is going to mean that inflation is going to stay around the midpoint of the target range, so around 3%, going up to 4% in 2021 and 2022, which is well within the 3 to 6% target range. I'm reasonably comfortable that inflation, certainly in the short term, looks like it's going to be in check. Of course, the bigger threat that we have in the short term is lower consumer spending, and we come off a low base anyway. It's something we can't afford in the economy.
Yeah, so the economy looks set to be in the negative this year, right?
Correct. They trimmed their targets down to minus 0.2% growth this year. Remember, we had, 0.7% for the whole of 2019, similar number for 2018. So, South Africa enters this global slowdown coming off a very low base. So I think more than a lot of the other countries in the world, we actually needed to have some sort of stimulus. And hopefully this interest rate cut will be followed by other initiatives, by government to try and stimulate growth locally.
All right, we'll leave it right there. Thanks for the insight. Appreciate it. Nelson Nair.